Welcome back to BT. Does your child play a lot of video games? How much is too much? Pediatrician Dr. Sarah Hall is here now with how to know if your child is addicted to video games and what to do about it. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
This is such a buzzy topic. We're all buzzing about this in the newsroom today. So what really is going on here? What is the real harm when kids spend too much time on those screens and playing these video games?
Yeah, so we all know that all this screen time is bad, but how bad is it?
Right.
And we're starting to see it. Actually, the way that I became aware of this is we were admitting teenagers to the hospital, like who play 5 or 6, even 8 hours of video games a day or social media sites, surfing a day. And they come onto our ward, they're cut off from their phone or their computer or their device, and they were actually going into physical withdrawal. Like we see them go into withdrawal like any other drug addiction.
Wow, so what symptoms are you seeing?
High heart rate, sweatiness, like physical symptoms, anxiety, aggression, agitation, depression, like they go into full-on withdrawal.
Wow, so
what
this
we
is
know,
serious.
Yes, and a lot of people are talking about it now. There's increased recognition of this internet addiction disorder or internet gaming disorder or problematic internet use. All these things are just to describe the same phenomenon, which is the internet is a very addictive place.
Right, right.
Yeah, so how do you know if it's an addiction versus just your teenager spends a lot of time on the internet?
Right.
It's where you have chronic and persistent use despite the fact that your life is falling apart around you. So relationships are, you're having trouble with your relationships, you're missing career opportunities, your school is going down, it's causing strife in your family. Like, persistent use despite the fact that it's causing problems.
Wow, despite it's affecting your quality of life.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about here. Okay.
So yeah.
So we've talked about the withdrawal, but how do we sort of manage the risks? Like what are the risk factors when it comes to kids doing this?
Yeah, so what we know is just the age group between 8 and 19 and then 19 to 29. Those two age groups access the internet more than anybody else.
Oh.
So just being in that age, it's a media world now, it's just a risk. Males are more prone. If that's just because males are more prone to addiction, that could be one part of it. But the other part is some of these online games are completely targeted to the addiction pathways within the male brain.
Oh.
Being prone to addiction, being prone to mental health, and like this whole mental health thing goes both ways. You can have obsessive compulsive, anxiety, depression, and use the internet as an escape. But also you can have problematic internet use and then develop anxiety and depression.
Oh.
So it goes both ways.
Okay.
But then there are things that actually protect you.
Oh.
So doing well in school, that's protective. Having parents you're close to, like being able to have a discussion and be a support for your kid, that's protective.
Okay.
Actually, this one I thought was interesting. Just being out in nature.
Just in nature.
Protective.
Oh.
Just being outside. Like getting outside prevents internet addiction.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like not something trivial at all. It's actually useful and necessary to get outside and spend time in nature.
Hard to do on a day like today, but
get out there anyway.
You.
Absolutely. Incredible. Okay, are there any other things we can do to help sort of reduce our child's risk?
So the first thing would be just consider the age when you buy that first phone for your kid or give them a device.
Okay.
Because once you do it, you can't really go back.
Right.
So then things like coming up with rules. How many hours a day are they going to spend on it? The Canadian Pediatric Society and American Academy of Pediatrics suggest less than 1 to 2 hours per day for kids over 5.
Okay.
That becomes a bit more flexible when you're a teenager.
Right.
But how many hours are you going to let them be on this? And we're talking recreational time. We're not talking for school.
Okay.
And then things like modeling. Us modeling good behavior.
Yes.
Us putting our phone down when we're with our kids. Not texting and returning emails. Face-to-face time. All these things are good for teaching our kids how to use the internet safely.
How to do it safely. Amazing. Sarah, thank you so much. Fantastic information, as always.
Thanks for having me.
Video game detox and kids. I like it.